They are committing conservatively 75 to 80% of all of the violent crime that we are seeing within our community.
It was all a stage to make Fani Willis look better. She's using it as a tool to enrich the popularity of her gang.
All right, y'all, Water God TV, man, we back with another video. Y'all know how we do. Always pushing health, wealth, and a better understanding of self. So check it. If y'all new to my channel, I've been going over videos, and I'm gonna link some of them where I feel like these sorority groups that our culture, our women are in, it's kind of like gang life, you know, and it's maybe a coincidence that these two are in a certain sorority that's dominating in a democratic field. So it's just making people think, and you know, this is already going around about the boule, but we got Fani Willis that's locking people up for being tied into RICOs and gang activity when it's a literally, to me personally, in my opinion, it's a gang that she's involved in. Now, in this video, I'm gonna go over Fani Willis is under hot water for how she's dealing with the Young Thug case.
I spoke one-on-one with the father of Atlanta rapper Young Thug, whose court case was canceled today as a decision over a mistrial looms. Jeffery Williams admits he's frustrated and shares some unfriendly views on Fulton County DA Fani Willis and why he's voting for the very first time to oust her. To be fair, we made this story and held it and made multiple requests to interview DA Fani Willis. I personally reached out on Tuesday. We made additional reaches by phone, text, and email on Wednesday. She has not responded to any of our messages. It is now past 11 p.m. on Thursday night and still no response. DA Fani Willis has talked about these issues on record many times, and in the interest of fairness, we have included some of her previous statements in our reporting tonight.
This case is about his lyrics.
I think it's wrong. Clearly, it's an art, right?
We're using the lyrics that a rapper is using. That would basically put everybody that raps out of business or in jail.
For too long, artists have been unfairly targeted by prosecutors.
It does not matter what your notoriety is, what your fame is. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, and you commit crimes, and certainly if those crimes are in furtherance of a street gang, that you are going to become a target.
It's bogus, it's prejudice.
Never known for holding his tongue.
I'm speaking on everybody that's sitting in a jail that's just being done wrong.
Jeffery Williams, the father of Atlanta rapper Young Thug, says he's done being loyal to people and institutions who say they help black men in Fulton County but don't.
It's not right.
I say it over and over again, but I mean it. I want our children in classrooms and not in courtrooms.
Williams has been reluctantly pulled into the spotlight alongside his son, Young Thug. The rapper is at the center of a very high-profile trial where prosecutors claim his music and crimes are linked.
My number one focus is targeting gangs, and there's a reason for that. They are committing conservatively 75 to 80% of all of the violent crime that we are seeing within our community.
It was all a stage to make Fani Willis look better. She's using it as a tool to enrich the popularity of her gang, which is the district attorney office. That's the gang.
Williams squarely points the finger back at Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, accusing the DA of abusing plea deals by pressuring young men of color
if I cooperate, they give me a year,
who don't have the financial means to fight back, to agree to untruths.
Are all of your answers to every question I asked from now on going to be, I don't recall?
Yes.
Which he says were used to build the case against Young Thug and YSL.
We've got to take seriously the court system.
We reached out to Willis for comment, but did not hear back.
If you got something on a person, if you got something to do, you know, to convict them or whatever, do your job. But if you don't just tear a person's life up just cause.
I have some legal advice. Don't confess to crimes on rap lyrics if you do not want them used.
Are you serious?
Fed up, Williams says enough is enough. He now has 3 sons in jail in connection to the YSL RICO trial. Williams says the pressure, the legal fees, and the wait to see if young Thug will be freed is taking its toll. But as a father, he's there.
One thing my kids know that society don't know is that regardless of what, Dad gonna be there.
Williams' advocacy for his sons have included emails, letters, and petitions to try and change the course of his son's fate. But this November, for the first time ever, Dad is voting to fight for what he says is way bigger than young Thug's freedom in Georgia's longest ever criminal trial. He's voting to oust Fani Willis, whether his son is freed or not.
My son is gonna get a second chance at life because God's gonna give it to him. By any means necessary, it's gonna happen. It's not his fault. He's good to people.
It just looks very messy. It's money that's been reported, that's been going to lavish things in her camp. Just don't seem right. Right? Then we got Kamala Harris. You know, we could be looking at some puppets that's in place. You know, it's people that's believing that, you know, even with Joe Biden really wasn't the president. So I'm going to go over in this video, right, on the re-election of Fani Willis. Check this out.
It's not the right county to come and do your dirty work. It's not the right place to come and do violence. And so for all the critics, I'm the one that was elected to this seat. We are going to continue to use RICO where it is a legal way to tell the story of what people did, all of their actions. And I just think they're wrong.
I don't think that she has handled the YSL trial appropriately at all. The former DA, Paul Howard, declined to prosecute that case on 2 different occasions. And I just feel as though she's prosecuting certain cases in that office for higher political gain.
You have a right to dignity if you live in Fulton County. There is no one, no matter how angry they get about it, going back and repeat it to them. There is no one that is above the law. If they don't want to be charged by DA Willis, stay out of my county. It's easy.
I worked in the Office of White House Counsel during law school. I worked with Ray Smith, who was indicted. I worked with David Schaefer, who's indicted. And that is not I have a conflict of interest in that case. And so I would have to recuse myself from that case.
When you're asking me about my goals for the next term, Fulton County should be ashamed of themselves. We don't have a one-stop center for domestic violence victims. And I want to bring that.
She said Fulton County should be ashamed of themselves. Fulton County. Not the court proceedings been going and all of that.
To Fulton County, it is all over the country in different places where it's a holistic approach for domestic violence victims to come. I also want a domestic violence track.
So now she's pushing for domestic violence. It just seems like a campaign to benefit off of the women population. That's just what it seems like Kamala Harris and Fani Willis is trying to do. And that's why they tied in to that, you know, where they throwing up them signs. This is gang life
in court, so that those victims get the help that they need from misdemeanors up to felonies.
One of my priorities is I would make sure that I have good working relationships with the sheriff's office, with the board of commissioners, because they allocate all the money for that, not all the money, but they allocate a large sum of that money for that office, and they have a lot of control.
And look how they do it. It's like a white woman versus a black woman. It's just so political, so just, it seems like powers that be is trying to be in control. But let me know what y'all think about this, man. I'm gonna link the video where I have when I did with Kamala Harris. She's in her sorority group. Y'all see Fani Willis. They attended the same university, throw up the same signs. Is this something that, is this okay? Okay, we lock up gang members in the hood every day and say they are part of these groups, but it's other people in business life and all of this. We finding out with the Diddy's and all of these Abercrombie and Fitch and all of these clothing lines that have these, tied groups that they deal with. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love. Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.